Hey guys, Tony here. As they say, I jumped the gun too quick there. I had a false start there. It's football season. I had a false start. Not quite the right angle here. Within the past week, the gap has widened with the Nationals 5.5, 6.5 wild card lead. It looks like the wild card was their avenue to reach the playoffs, but now it's looking like the division 7.5 back rather than the wild card where they're 8.5 games back is the best avenue to reach the postseason. And it completely makes sense right now through gematria, because in 2011 the Atlanta Braves, it was their 46th season in Atlanta. They had an 8.5 game lead in the wild card. They completely blew it, and that was where the Dave Martinez last game against the Atlanta Braves came into the equation for this riddle. His last MLB appearance, as you know, came on Vladimir Putin's birthday, October the 7th, also the birthday of Fox News. And in gematria, it is the presidency of Trump that equals 107. It is impeachment that equals 107 in gematria as well. So impeachment equals 107 in 53. But notice something too, that Dave Martinez is 53 years of age. He last played with the Braves in 2001. 20 plus 1 equals 2001. And it is title that equals 21 in gematria, in Pythagorean gematria. But here's what strikes me, is that the Nationals have 67 wins right now. It is Bryce Almighty that equals 148 and 67. It is Braves that equals 67. It's no coincidence that scaling forward to 2018, it is the Braves' 53rd season in Atlanta, their 148th season overall. Funny how this was the narrative all along, how I jumped the gun with that video from yesterday. Bryce Almighty and Braves equaling 67 and 148 at 67 wins right now. It is Donald J. Trump, the president, that equals 148 and 49. It is Washington that equals 49. The Nats can become the 49th National League team to win the World Series. Also in gematria, it is Donald Trump. It is the Nationals that equal 138 in gematria. Funny how their gematrias somehow line up, but look at this. It is Bryce that equals 53. It is comeback that equals 53. This is the Braves' 53rd season in Atlanta. We're going to have a comeback here in the division, and it's very feasible. The Washington Nationals here, they have a makeup game to play with the Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta Braves. This game at home against Atlanta was postponed, and then the game against Cincinnati was postponed as well. So 2 additional home games for the Washington Nationals. They traded away a very mediocre pitcher, Gio Gonzalez, to Milwaukee. Strasburg, Scherzer, 2 best pitchers, and then at home against St. Louis, Chicago, Philadelphia, and then that big series against Atlanta, and the Marlins and the Mets and the Rocky Cliff to finish the season. And for Atlanta, look at this. They already lost to Pittsburgh. They have to face the Red Sox, my hometown Diamondbacks, in the 4-game series, away at the San Francisco Giants. 500 team, not a bad team, but middle of the hill team. And then the series against Washington, and look at this, they have to face the Cardinals and the Phillies not once but twice. So this is a really tough stretch. And the Nationals are definitely going to be sweeping the Atlanta Braves in the coming weeks, and they're going to win that makeup game against Cincinnati and against Atlanta. It is all explained through Kabbalah what the narrative is going to be. Bryce and comeback. How do I know it's going to begin today in the Braves' 53rd season in Atlanta, their 148th season overall? Is that there's a time span of 53 days from today's date to the beginning of the World Series. 53 days. That's the comeback Bryce number, 53. How about the amount of time from that day to Bryce Harper's birthday, October the 16th, Bryce Almighty. 46 days, it is chaos, that equals 46. 45 days, if you do not include the end date, it is Donald Trump, that is the 45th President of the United States. After all, it is World Series, that equals 57. It is Dave Martinez in Gematria, that equals 57. Very interesting by the numbers. What's going to happen here? The narrative can't be any more clear right now. The Nationals' next game, 53 days from the World Series, is their 68th game. It is championship, that equals 68 in Gematria. And Stephen Strasburg is pitching today. I promise you that this video here is going to be the right work for the postseason here. It details the winner of the National League East here. And I look at Dave Martinez, last appearance in 2001, 20 plus 1, it is title, that equals 21 here. Harper equals 66, interesting enough. And for Dave Martinez, the last thing in the equation here, his last MLB appearance for the Braves, that big collapse in 2011. And 7 years later, from 46th season in Atlanta to their 53rd season, Atlanta's going to reveal a lot. He was born a day after Donald Trump's birthday. It is manager Mike Rizzo, 57 years old. He was born in Chicago. This guy here, Dave Martinez, was the bench coach for the Cubs, and they won the World Series. So the riddle is going to be pointing towards Washington rather than Chicago. I'm sticking with my preseason pick. Number 2, Daniel Murphy. Number 47, Gio Gonzalez. 49. Their numbers, I have the 49. And the 49th team to win the World Series can end up being Washington. That's where the riddle is going to come into play here. So Gio equals 22. I had Boston winning the World Series, or winning the American League, but I ended up losing the World Series. Gio Gonzalez in Gematria equals 137. Washington, D.C. equals 137. Gio Gonzalez equals 65 in Gematria. 7.5 equals 49. There's 7.5 games right now. They become the 49th team to win the World Series. Is revelation, that equals 49 Gematria. I just wonder how many wins the Nationals had ever since the beginning of the All-Star break. Or the beginning of the second half of the season, I should say. That's 5, 7, 12, 14, 15, 18. That's 19. That's 19 here. That may mean something because the crash is going to happen in 2019 here. And quite frankly, their first game may reveal who's going to win the American League, because that is Boston, that is Red Sox. So a lot's happening here. I'm going to go with the Nationals to win the division, 7.5 games back. I'm going to say there's zero chance that they're going to end up even making it close in a wild card. Now it's looking really bleak, but it definitely is looking like a real possibility that the Braves are going to collapse. The Braves collapse, funny enough, equals 66. And you have Harper equaling 66. And after the Braves collapsed in 2011, believe it or not, the St. Louis Cardinals ended up winning the World Series that year, 2011, against the Texas Rangers after they came back 8.5 down against the Atlanta Braves. These comebacks are nothing new to baseball if you pay attention to the game. And you look at, the stock market bubble economy. You think the economy is doing well? It's doing well if you're wealthy right now, if you had your tax breaks, but how about for everyone else? Right now we have a stock market bubble, and that's what this division right now is going to symbolize. Vladimir Putin was born in Dragon Year in 1952. This was the last thing I had to check, by the way. I think this may be Bryce Harper's 5th NL East title, and it is Dave Martinez, the manager of the Nationals, that made his last MLB appearance on Vladimir Putin's, let's see here. So that it was Vladimir Putin's 49th birthday. So 1952 from that time to 2001. His 49th birthday. Vladimir Putin's 49th birthday was the day Dave Martinez retired from baseball. That was his 49th birthday. And you know, he did say that he came to Washington to win a title. That article will be posted in the description tab, by the way. How about that day, November the 2nd, the day that he was introduced of last year? I'm telling you guys, I am not counting out these guys yet. So, today's date, right? Happy September. You know, 43 weeks. It's champion that equals 43. I'm thinking the run begins right now. Definitely. Oh, yes. It definitely is. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Bryce Harper can win his 5th NL East title with the manager who last made his appearance on Vladimir Putin's birthday. It is Vladimir Putin that is a dragon. It is Dragon that is number 5 in the order. The Nationals' 5th NL East title can really say a lot. And I like to add up the years, too, for all of their NL East titles that they've won. 12, 14, 16, and 17. Then we have 18. Okay, 77 is Book of Revelation that equals 77. You know, with Bryce Harper and whatnot, you know, Donald John Trump equals 185, and the Nationals won the World Series. The Washington Nationals won the World Series, equals 185. So that's what the riddle reveals, I think, is Dave Martinez's last appearance for the Braves. 148th season this year. 53rd, 53 days from today's date to the World Series. Bryce Harper, Gematria says it all. So career stats for Gio Gonzalez and Bryce Harper. That is the last thing to reveal what the equation is really going to say what's going to happen here. Gio Gonzalez, 124 victories. I think it's Blue Wave that equals 124. The Blue Wave equals 124. Today's date of September the 1st is all about that. Blue Wave equals 91. So seeing something here for Gio Gonzalez, does that mean that Milwaukee is going to be part of this sequence of events? This is why the Brewers' 61st loss is going to happen a day after making the trade. Is he crying here because he knows he's not going to win the World Series for this scripted Major League Baseball? I think Harper's stats are going to reveal even more about what's going to come. His next RBI for Bryce Harper would be his 85th RBI. His next home run would be his 31st home run. Remember, scrolling down here. Okay, I didn't enter the values, but remember what I said before about 85 and 31. Boston 85, Red Sox 85-31. Houston last won the American League. 7.5 equals 112 as well. So the riddle cannot be any more clear. You should know what's going to happen right now.